All right, let's recap this road call that was a disaster. First of all, they called me early, which is 4:30 in the afternoon, and we already had a technician out there and he did not fix it. So, but he did diagnose it for me and he said, "Hey, grab a quick relay valve and come on out, put it on and that should fix it." Okay, so I grabbed the part, go out there, and this truck is still in the middle of the road. It's on the hard top. Luckily, it was back roads kind of deal, not a lot of traffic, but still, it's on the road. Um, First thing you always do, well, okay, let's back up the train. I think most of 70% of my viewers are between the age of 23 to 34 or 40, I think, is what the YouTube thing tells me. So, okay, let's start off. Don't worry about what anybody else does, right or wrong or indifferent. Worry about what you're going to do. That's the walk away from this situation. Don't worry about what the guy before you did, good, bad, or indifferent. You worry about what you're going to do. So I showed up. The truck was still on the road. Priority one. I did a quick re-diag to see if I put that valve, it was going to fix it. And if it was, I was going to go with that. But I did a quick re-diag before I removed the valve, and that's always a good practice. Always re-diag for yourself. And if the guy gets mad, well, you know what? It's just the way it is. It's not that you don't trust his work. If he's right, he's right, and if he's wrong, well, he's wrong. And guess what? You covered your butt. Field mechanic, field work, it's kind of cutthroat. There's a lot of haters. There's a lot of people that start a lot of drama and they throw you under the bus. And so always be proficient at your diagnosing, even though someone might have already done it, confirm or verify the fault or the complaint. What I did is, he said it was leaking out of the quick relay valve, or the relay valve, and I went ahead and I exercised the truck, and nope, it wasn't leaking out of the relay valve. It was leaking out of one of the modulators. So right there and then, I jumped back to get out of the road. So I went ahead and I made preparations to move the truck, and we got it off the side of the road to a safe work zone, or work area where I could work without having to worry about getting slammed into. Triangles do not stop cars, and so, get it out of the way. So anyway, we get it out of the way, and we look at it, we diag it, and I make a list. So I tell the guy, hey, whatever's going on, I kind of need to figure out what the root cause is, because air is kind of funny. We could have a lot of different things. We have a bad hand valve. We could have a bad foot valve. We could have a bad brake chamber. We could have a bad tractor protection valve that's back feeding the circuit, making that modulator leak. It's kind of weird the way that modulator was leaking. So I told him I'm going to need more time to diagnose it, and I don't know how long that's going to be. Or we can opt for putting parts and see what happens, which I think in the end, replacing the leaking ABS modulator valve was 50-50 on fixing the problem. But if that's what he elected to do, because it's like the customer's like, it's leaking, just replace it. And then you replace it, and guess what? If the new one is still leaking, which has happened to us in the past, we tell the customer, okay, Mr. Mechanic or armchair quarterback, we did what you wanted. Now we're here, and we're still on the clock, and we're still running, and we're still going to charge you because of you didn't allow me to fully diagnose it and get to the root cause. There's a lot of guys that make a lot of money by shotgunning parts, and then they fight their way through to convince the customers that, whatever they got to tell them to get them out of there. And you don't want to be one of those guys. Always be professional. Always be, 110%, right in your repairs. Sometimes you do have to replace parts, and kind of gives like a step one, step two. and then see where the problem progresses to. But you know, as you younger guys get more into it, then you guys will kind of get some experience and kind of, you know, pick up or not pick up, but decrease your diagnose time, because you know, repetitive repairs or repetitive diagnosing leads to correct repairs. Repetitive shotgunning leads to more problems, is what I'm trying to get to. So anyway, at the end of the day, the guy said, no, you know what, it's because I told him it's your brakes. I'm not going to mess around. I mean, I'm not going to mess around. We're going to either troubleshoot it all the way right, or we need to think of something else. So they went ahead and they opted to tow it to the shop, to where we can go ahead and check it. I did hook up the Bendix to it, and Bendix wasn't really helping me. So again, side of the road, this guy decided, hey, you know what, tow it to the shop. I'll go get a rental, and I'll keep going down the road, and when I come back the opposite way, I'll drop off the rental and I'll go ahead and get my truck. So that's the recap of tonight's adventure. I'm trying to see if I can get it to where you guys can kind of see some of the stuff I do, some of the repairs, but it's kind of hard because, you know, you try to get in the zone and then gotta record, and I'm doing it off my phone. But anyway, hey, leave some comments, tell me what you think. Did you like it or not, or, you know, whatever, give me some feedback. Hey, thanks for watching.